Hello guys, my name's Alexander Hicks, and last time we talked about Skyrim. No, we talked about my time stream stuff. We mostly got to cover the characters, which are on the first 3 pages, but now we're going over book settings. Now, I'm not sure if any of you are actually enjoying this, so yeah, here we go. Now, the first book, we're going to set it on the Titanic, the home dimension. Now, dimensions, we'll get to that later again, as I said. The Senga book is set on a jungle planet or temple. The temple is, therefore, on the jungle planet. I won't really get into, like, the basis of all these, because I don't have that written down, but yeah. Book 3, tragedy, kind of. It's set on several alien planets, and it's definitely in the Skyrim Oblivion Fallout dimension around the end of it. Book 4, it starts off in the Fallout dimension because, I'm going to say a little thing, books 1, 2, and 3 have gaps between them. Books 5, 6, and 7 have gaps in between them. But books 3 and 4 and 7 and 8 are smack against each other. Well, 7 and 8 aren't smack against each other, but they're more or less smack against each other. Yeah. Fallout 4, the Siam testing facility, we'll get to that a little bit later as well, when we get to species. Book 5 is the Mind State facility. I had a little idea for that one. I should actually tell you a bit about that one. Where it's set in a computer matrix, they are using people for batteries. Yeah, it's kind of like the Matrix and all, but it's not like batteries. It's like, nobody really knows. It's illegal to use humans as, like, power cells. Basically, it's the power cells, but it's using their imagination to create alternate worlds that they live in until they die. It's basically it's using life energy to, yeah. Book 6, we haven't exactly got a place where we want to do that. I say we, but I mean me. Book 7 is set on Night Earth. We'll get to that later. Well, actually, no, we might not get to that because I have to, write some of that stuff down. And the home dimension, and then book 8 set in the home dimension, which is the tragic one. And then there will be a 9th book if I get this, the Time Team Missions, collection of missions, basically. That's stuff that goes on between 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 5 and 6, and 6 and 7. That's what goes on between them. Now, we'll go over some of the Time Team devices, the major things. Well, first there's the health pod. It's a shallow white 6-foot tube with a glass dome covering over them. They can heal anybody from a small paper cut to near death. The only thing it can't heal is death itself. Now, in Time Team, you can die. But since you're traveling through time, space, dimension, if you die, like, 14 years before you're born on the planet Mars of the Spencer's Realm dimension, which technically that doesn't exist, you're dead. Though you may not exactly age, which I'll maybe go over that in later stuff. Yeah, you'll die. But basically, if you are put in one of these near death, you'll have to wait a certain amount of time that you'll be healed back to not perfect health, but your recorded health before you did that mission. Now, the TSDT, the Time, Space, and Dimension Teleporter. It's a common wristwear for any Time Team agent. There have been 22 different versions. Technically, there's more, but the main version is the TSDT. That's what it's called, and there's like 22 versions of that, and I believe in my history thing, there's like 2 or 3 more there before. They're not called the TSDT. Okay. The originals used to have a person that can get up. The originals used to have the person get up to a certain speed, obviously running, before allowing them to teleport. The new ones can teleport up to 2 stationary or moving people. If you are holding on to the hand of someone that has the TSDT on them and they teleport, you're going with them. You can also teleport items with them, yeah, without having to resist or results, and we'll get to that part later as well. You have to wait a lot of stuff. Now, GMM, not Good Mythical Morning, but Genetic Molecule Manipulator. This was created by Spencer Acachala, one of our head scientists of Time Team, to change a person's genetic code. It's kind of like the health pods, but it's vertical. It's another tube-like thing. With it, Time Team agents can look like anything from dimension and time. I haven't gone over this. The people will still have the characteristics of their normal selves, though, so you can still kind of tell it's them, but not a lot. And there is this one thing where you'll take on the characteristics of your normal self. So if, like, Vale, who's a dark elf, tries to become human, the only thing that's really going to change is the color of her ears and maybe the tint of her skin a little, because she's still going to be mostly gray. Now, GMM Animal Pills. Again created by Spencer Acachala to change the person into an animal of their choice. You swallow the pill and think of an animal for 5 seconds, and the person will take this form for, sadly, a total of 5 years. There, you don't get any breaks in between, but that will help in 2 of my books. There's a reason it's like that. Now, the leaders of Time Team. The first ever leader was Brandon Hollister, who was a human from the home dimension. We'll go over his background later. Then Jackson Brown, a Psyhume, and then again, we'll kind of go over why he's the second leader. Now, I haven't figured out who I want leaders 3 through 13 to be, but we have Hoshire Ockler, a Groundarian, and we'll go over that with our next bit of aliens. Vale Mirix, Dark Elf. Her last name was never actually decided upon, so I decided to use that. Papa Acachala, who's a human, not from the home dimension, but from the 13th dimension. Excuse me. Talking so much your voice starts to dry out a bit. Simon Caster, another human from the same dimension as Vale. Now, aliens. First we'll start off with Groundarian. Groundarians are creatures that control the elements of dirt and stone. Their home planet is made of 100% rock with a few volcanoes every now and then. The creatures themselves have a darker, cracked-looking skin with a rough exterior. Now, the way I came up with Groundarians is I was actually thinking of some, like, Pokemon thing. I was like, hey, I can make this an alien. Haha, I've done it. He's kind of like, you can kind of think like the person from the Fantastic Four, but they're not as dramatic like that. But they are rather bulky. I need to put more description on there, but yeah. Dark Elves. Dark Elves have pointy ears and grayish skin. Their home planet is Earth, and only found in the Skyrim Oblivion dimension. Now, that's kind of going to go on with that. Commonly, they are looked down upon society. Some can make their way to the top, like Vale. Humans. Humans are smooth-skinned creatures with various body color types. They thrive through almost all dimensions and all of space. The original home is Earth of almost all dimensions and share different viewpoints with each other. Yeah, there's like this, when you go out into space and stuff, humans on Earth already have different viewpoints on stuff, and when you go out there, it's like, okay, these are the Chankorian, I'm making this up right now, Chankorian humans, the Vosper Lafuata humans, the Corman Rapata humans. Okay, so, yeah, humans kind of, like, got viewpoints different. There's, like, different civilizations out there. There's no really way to make it. But there was this one group, I'm going to say, Psyhumes. Psyhumes were created by humans, by not one full human on Earth, but somewhere out in space and all, as an experiment on cyborgs or human-like androids. They can interact with each other to produce offspring, and don't take kindly to humans, because they were created by there, and they were not treated fairly. Yeah. So, they don't take kindly to humans, but there are some that are like, not all humans are bad. Most of them are bad, but not all of them are bad. Now, they often will stay in small communities with each other. That's kind of based off, like, okay, You had the Polish up in New York, they had the Polish neighborhoods, and then the Irish neighborhoods, the French neighborhoods, kind of like that. And they're spread across many cities. Furry. Furries are animals that have an almost human bone and muscle structure. They live civilized and range from pretty much any different animal found on Earth in home and reverse dimensions. We'll go over that later. With some human bone and muscle structure. They do, however, have these animals in Earth, but most of them are used for food. Yeah, that wasn't really well thought about. Yeah. Now, Darkglow. This is a rather new one I was made up when I was watching a YouTube video. It was a music video, whatever heck. Sorry, had to catch my breath. Darkglow is a species of aliens. Darkglow is a species of aliens that live in the dark. They emit a glow that wraps around their bodies in lines. During broad daylight, they are almost completely invisible, but when they are in dim light or in total darkness, they are able to be seen. These people have very good sense of being party animals, but don't have something to say any word. Most cannot speak. They communicate in Morse code by flashing lights on their hands and chest. They also change the color of their lights at will. Also, can change. That should be a can there. Can change their color of their lights at will and control how bright they are. Darkglow can actually make their brightness so low that it's almost completely pitch black, but that takes a lot of concentration and practice. Very, very difficult for them. Now, we have the dimensions. I don't have actual number, like what they're called, but like descriptions, that'll be coming later. We have the home, the Skyrim and Oblivion Fallout dimension, Furry V1. 13th, 12th, 1st, reverse dimension, which is like the home dimension. I need to put in like descriptions. And then the Spencer's Realm. Yeah. Now, I do have some possible characters I would look into doing, but I probably won't. Oh, look, dimension descriptions. Okay. Sylvia, she's 12 years old, she's female, but she looks like a male. And she's from the first dimension. Mother, age 20 to 60, who's Sylvia's mother. Gender is female. Home dimension, first. George the Bobcat, age 32. Gender, male. Looks like female. Not being transgender and all. It's just like something that me and my friend Julie came up with in the 7th grade. And we were like doing this. He's home dimensions first. And then we have Suakachala, age 29. Gender, male. But legally he's a female. According to what they accidentally messed up his, He's a male, but he's legally a female because they messed up his, documents. So, yeah. And then we have Xander Lex. I was going to replace Aubrey with him, but I was like, no, that wouldn't work. His first appearance would be in Book 3. I don't know his main weapon be. He'd be 17. He'd be male. He'd be an agent, and his home dimension would have been home. Yeah. So, thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. Comment down below on something you'd like me to do in the future if you're enjoying hearing all about this. We've still got 6 more pages to go. Yep. And check out for dimension descriptions later on. So thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, please like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye. Why did I did Markiplier's exit?